Alright, so we have the patch notes for September 26, 2024 of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. And they are as follows. All right,
Could
so
he
this
really be here? I have to find him.
the September 26, 2024 patch will feature bug fixes and the release of Rush Week. These are the bug fixes for our September 26, 2024 patch. It's scheduled to begin rolling out on console and PC at roughly 8 a.m. Eastern Time. This patch will also include the release of our new free game mode, Rush Week. Folks who have purchased the Content Pass will gain access to Rush Week 4 days earlier. It will be free to everyone on Monday, September 30th, 2024. As a reminder, in addition to the default cosmetics of pajamas, cheerleader, and nightie, everyone who plays Rush Week will unlock the towel and laundry day cosmetics for free for life. But you gotta be quick as the offer only lasts until our October patch, when the two cosmetics will move to the shop at $1.99 each. Patch notes. Changed. Base game. Fuse box spawn on the mill. We have...
My boy, he has to be here.
We have changed a potential spawn location for fuse box to prevent it from spawning too close in proximity to the valve tank. Added fuse box spawn in the mill ground floor. Remove fuse box spawn in the overgrown exterior. Fixed base game. Connie's focus SFX. In both public and private matches, all players could hear Connie use their focused ability. Players will no longer be able to hear a Connie pop their focused ability. Fixed base game. Lockpicking exploit. Victims were previously able to bypass tool break progression by exiting and re-entering the minigame after hitting a checkpoint. Tool break progress will fill and deplete normally now. Fixed base game. Ripstall cooldown. The level 2 hands ability tree upgrade reduce ripstall cooldown did not give the correct cooldown. With this fix, the cooldown will be 72 seconds if reduced ripstall cooldown has been equipped. Fixed base game.
Oh, Jesse, sweetie, I know you're here. I can feel it.
Fixed base game. Family members stunned. If any two family members stand near a hiding spot while a victim bursts out of it, it would result in one family player being permanently stunned for the rest of the match. This has been fixed so that the stun is the correct duration when a victim player bursts out of a hiding spot. Fixed base game. Tracker tagged perk. The family perk tracker tagged would lose functionality mid-match and not highlight victims after landing a hit. The description for the tracker tag perk reads as follows. Hitting a victim highlights them for all family members. Highlight duration is 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. The perk will now always highlight victims for the proper duration for all family members after hitting a victim. Fixed base game. Maria's eye color. Hazel. Her eyes are hazel. Nothing to see here. Fixed base game. Sunny's star sign ability. When using Sunny's ability, other players were able to see visual effects.
This place.
The effect will now only be visible to Sunny. Fixed base game. Family melee attack exploit. The team has patched an exploit where family players could deal double damage with a single melee attack. Interesting. I wonder what that was all about. Well, they fixed it though. That's ridiculous. Fixed private match crashes. If the host of a private match had the store open while the lobby countdown transitioned to the loading screen, the title would crash for them. The game will no longer crash in this scenario. Fixed private matches. Consecutive matches. Players were not able to play consecutive private matches as they would encounter an infinite loading screen if 4 or more players were present. This has now been fixed, and players will be able to play back private matches regardless of player count. Fixed private matches. Family House. Blood Moon basement lighting. We fixed the shader issue on the Family House Blood Moon map variant that resulted in the basement area being too bright. Players can view this fix in private matches. Fixed private matches. Spectator overlay. When hosting a private match as a victim, proximity and hiding spot overlays will not be present for the host in spectator mode. The correct visual effect will now show for the spectating player. Fixed private matches. Family stamina. Family melee attacks were incorrectly consuming stamina in private matches. Attacking as a family member will now consume the proper amount of stamina. Fixed private matches. Attack animations. Repeated attacks by a family member in private matches would have identical animations. Family member attacks will now smoothly alternate between animations. Fixed private matches. Bone shards. An issue has been fixed where the host of a private match was able to collect an infinite amount of bone shards from bone piles. Fixed private matches. Fuse box minigame. Fuse box minigame would not complete properly, resulting in the basement door not opening and the minigame remaining visible to the player. Fuse box minigame will now function as intended when completed. Quick map, on the other hand, can still be difficult. Fixed private matches. Character levels. Character levels are not displaying accurate to non-host players. The appropriate character level will now show for all players when in a private lobby. Fixed private matches. Star sign ability effects. We fixed an issue where the host of a private match could see the star sign ability effects of other characters during a match, regardless of the side they were playing on. Every character is bound to its own set of abilities and will not see the effects of other characters' star sign abilities during private matches. Fixed private matches. Attribute points. A fix has been implemented where attribute point changes made in the character loadout weren't applying correctly during private match. The fix made attribute points properly reflected in the functionality during a private match. Fixed private matches. Radio voiceover. An issue has been fixed where the host couldn't hear the radio voiceover when loading into a private match. Radio voiceover is now audible for all players when loading into a private match. Fixed private matches. Soft locked. We have fixed the bug where soft lock occurred for the host of a private match if they loaded into a match with the options menu open. The host of a private match will now be able to enter a match without getting soft locked. Fixed private matches. Leatherface destroying doors. We fixed a bug where the host of a private match would see a padlock appear after Leatherface destroyed a door. I know, I've seen that one. Every time you destroyed a door as Leatherface in a private match, a padlock would just, like, fucking unlock on the door so randomly every time you did it. A padlock will not visibly appear after Leatherface destroys the door in private matches. Fixed private matches. Victim execution sound effects. We have implemented a fix where a sound effect that is normally played after a victim dies was present during the loading screen when starting a private match. Victim death sound effects will now only play after a victim is executed. Fixed private matches. Non-functional lobbies. We have resolved an issue where players would get stuck in a non-functioning private lobby while attempting to leave immediately after creating it. Players in a private lobby can now proceed to the main menu without any issues. Fixed museum mode. Photo opportunity mode. Invisible collision. When entering photo opportunity mode after finishing museum mode, players would encounter invisible collision in the front field area. This issue has been fixed. Fixed museum mode. Stuck spots. In museum mode's photo opportunity mode, if a player tried to change family members while standing on top of them in the car graveyard, they would get stuck out of bounds. This issue has been fixed. Fixed museum mode. Camera stuck spot. The camera in museum mode would get stuck in the map environments when attempting to switch characters in a staged photo opportunity in the basement area. Player camera will no longer get stuck while switching characters. Fixed museum mode. Inverted functionality. An issue with inverted functionality in museum mode has been fixed. Inverted look functionality will now perform in museum mode as it does in the base game. For any existing or persistent issues, please use the support site. Thank you for reading the patch notes. Keep the conversation going on our official subreddit, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Alright. So that's mainly it for the September 26th patch. It's very straightforward. I really like how they decided to fix the lockpick exploit really quickly, but grappling is still an issue. The Johnny's lunge is still an issue. I'm glad they were able to fix some issue where family members were able to do double damage with their attacks. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think it's ridiculous that they fixed the lockpick bug, but I do think it's ridiculous that that gets fixed before a lot of other issues that are in the game. They did state that they are coming out with a rework to the grappling system. I know a lot of family mains will automatically assume that running choose fight is an exploit, and it's not. It's just a perk. I don't know. Doing this right here is just part of gaming. You know, you press buttons in a game. QTEs have been in games since PlayStation 2. Probably even before that. I just wasn't aware of it. But like, it's just ridiculous that any kind of work or anything, effort that you have to put into a game, people just want to whine and complain about it. You know what I mean? I mean, family mains have built-in suffocating grip with the way that grapple works now because it's broken, and it really shouldn't be an issue. It's just ridiculous. It's one of the only forms of defense that victims have, you know. In certain situations, you have to grapple to defend yourself from family. And to see that that's completely broken right now, still, it's not been fixed, is unfortunate. I'm really curious as to what this rework is, and I'm sure it's another nerf to victims, because that's all they seem to want to do in this game right now. It's just ridiculous. And that's my point, you know what I mean? I don't understand why people just can't learn how to play the game. I don't understand why all this crying and whining on Reddit is getting prioritized over actually making an effort to, I don't know, teach people how to play the game. Instead of getting blanket solutions that aren't really solutions solving anything, they're just creating other problems. But yeah, it's just a huge nerf to the one side of the game. It's why I don't really play family. I just find no interest in it. I don't find it to be fun. It's just too easy. It's too simple. And I don't think it requires any kind of real skill at all. I don't know why you would think it does. You're just basically patrolling areas and camping. That's what I see families doing a lot. And I don't know how you have fun doing that. I don't understand why people have to run these ridiculous builds involving like all this stamina and all this stuff so you can hit victims 15 times and everything. Because when I see that, I feel like family mains just want to end matches just as fast as victims want to end matches. Whereas if you force the one side to prolong the match, everyone scores high no matter how many you killed or whatever. You know what I mean? You both sides score and do well at the end of the game, you know, and you get a long drawn out match after that. And I think isn't that what you want? Or does everybody want a speed run? It's just the one side's prioritized over the other. You know what I mean? If someone's better at the game, then you don't deserve to beat them. You know, if someone's played better, if they outplay you, you shouldn't have the right to complain to the developers about that. You know, you're getting outplayed in something, then you got outplayed. That's on you. You can't get mad at somebody because they outplayed you. You can't whine and complain because you didn't win and you get your way. If someone's got more hours in the game, they're more experienced, and they make better decisions on the fly in the game than you, then that's well within their rights to beat you, you know? So I don't understand why there's these notions in the game like, oh, family should be overpowered. Like, yeah, maybe Leatherface should be overpowered, but I don't know about everybody else. I don't think Cook should be as strong as some other family members that are out there. I don't think Hitchhiker should either, or Sissy, or you know what I mean. I think Johnny Hands and Leatherface are strong because they look strong, you know, and not because they just should automatically be strong because they're family. I think that's very goofy, and it's a very silly notion. I mean, you want the game to be scary, then earn your right to be scary as family members. You know what I mean? Be scary. Don't just beg for it all to be handed to you and then expect it. You know, like earn the right to be scary. Earn the right to intimidate victims and make them play the way you want. Don't just ask the devs to force people to play the game you want it played, and then expect victims to stealth around while you all rush the basement as Johnny. You know what I mean? How does that work? You can't get it. You can't get both sides. It's either one or the other. You either want victims to go slow and you don't rush the basement, or you want victims to go fast and you do rush the basement. It doesn't work both ways. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Victims go fast because they know they're going to get rushed in the basement. You know? And yeah, victims can wake up Grandpa, but so can family members that are running ridiculously high blood builds. You know what I mean? It works both ways. It only takes one level to wake Grandpa up anyway, and then if you run the proper blood build, it doesn't take very long to get Grandpa leveled up. You can almost get him 2 levels in 1, depending on the build you run. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff going on right now in this game is absolutely ridiculous. In regard to balancing, I understand other issues. It's very obvious that what we're seeing with the cosmetics and everything mostly have to do with the fact that the IP is controlling that. That's really obvious, and the reason I can say that is if it wasn't for the IP, I think more cosmetics and kill packs in the game would be a lot less expensive. And I think that's explicitly detailed in the cosmetics for the sorority girls in Rush Week in that game mode. I feel like if it wasn't that, those cosmetics would still be the same price as everything else in the game, which is $6.99, but they're not. They're $1.99. And I mean, for those of you who don't know, the F-13 game had the same prices for their cosmetics, you know. And I think the reason we're only getting the cosmetics we're getting is because that's what the IP demands, unfortunately. And when you run a game based off an IP, your hands are tied to what the IP wants. You can't just put whatever you want in the game. You have to put in what they want, what they allow. And so if the IP specifically wants certain cosmetics to look the way they do and authentic and specific to each other, that's what they're going to get. You know what I mean? And we just have to... That's what we get. What I'd love to see someday is... What I'd really love to see is for Gun... I'd love to see Gun make their own IP. I'd love to see Gun build their own video game, not based off a movie. Because then we'd really see their freedom. We'd really get to see what they can do. We'd really get to see how much they charge themselves for cosmetics. And I think we'd really get to shut up a lot of these damn haters out of here who think they're entitled to tell me what I should and shouldn't like in the game, who want to yell at me because of what I bought in the game or whatever the fuck. Like, who the hell are they to tell me what I can and can't do? You know what I mean? I think it's absolutely ridiculous, but that's what goes on. And so, what I'd love to see is Gun just make their own game, not based on a movie. Honestly, if they could, I'd love for them to just make summer camp like they were before they got. I'd love for them to go back in time and go back to their original idea of summer camp before they got the F-13 IP. And I mean, and they can do that. I don't see why they couldn't. If Horror Inc. owns Summer Camp, then name it something else. Give it another name and make it the same damn thing. What are they gonna do about it? I don't think they can, right? I don't know. Maybe they can't. And if they can't do that, then do something else. I would love to see Gun's full creativity in their own game, without their hands being tied to an IP. And I guarantee you, if Gunn does that, if Gunn ever can finesse that and have that done, I guarantee you it will be a success, and I guarantee you people will be making movies based off of their game that they make. If they ever make their own horror game, not based off a movie, but based on their own creative ideas. That's what I'd love to see one day. That's what I want to see. I'd love to see what Gunn can do when they have their own game and their own potential creativity, their own freedoms.
That worked, finally.
Because I think that would be an amazing video game. And like I said, there's content creators that would totally buy it and support it, and they would totally make fan-based films based off of it, you know? And I think it would do exceptionally well. I'm 100% sure it would do exceptionally well, and that's why I'd love to see it. And I'd love to see the movies that people, that like fan films and everything based off of it in the future. And I think this Rush Week, that's based off of Gunn's ideas of giallo films, you know, is the first step in that direction. That's what they need to do. Stop making games off of IPs and make their own horror game based on all the horror they love. And I think a lot of people would really enjoy it and have a great time with it, have a lot of fun with it. I know it's something I definitely support and love to see happen. And that's something I'm excited for. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I think it's the best direction for them to go in after they're through with this, however long this goes, you know. I mean, I don't want anything to happen to this game. I'd love to see it go on for as long as possible, but at the same time, I'd also love to see Gunn at their full level of creativity and see what they truly are capable of, and see what they can really do with their own IP, without someone telling them what they can and can't do with it, you know? That's what I mean.
Could be useful.
But, yeah, that's what I'd love to see them do. And, it's really cool. We kind of get a taste of that with the Rush Week gameplay mode. I'm excited for that. I plan to support that as I do the game. I will buy the content pass, and I plan to, just do what I can, do my part, and enjoy the game and support it as much as possible and everything. And you know, and we'll just see where it goes from here. But I really wish they'd I wish we'd learn more about the grappling fix, and I'm excited for what's to come in the content pass. But knowing what I know now and everything, I really hope for a Gunn exclusive IP online asymmetrical horror game in the future. That's what I'm excited for. Just to see them really shine with their own kind of work, their own creative ideas, not being told what to do by another, because it's their IP and not their own. You know what I mean? And that's all basically. It's nothing against this at all. I think this game's outstanding. It's authentic, you know, and it's so well done. The mechanics are a different story. Everybody has the right to argue that, but this game, its authenticism is extraordinary. It's on a whole nother level, and that's always respected for sure. And you can't argue that at all. And so that's why I'd love to see what they can do with their own kind of a game, and so that we can really enjoy that too and support that fully without it going to somebody else, without somebody else telling them what they can and can't do. But I know they have the potential to do it, and I'd love to see them do it, so all the haters can just shut the fuck up already about it, you know? And so, yeah, that's what I'm excited for. And I hope we get something like that in the future for sure, because
This might help.
I think a lot of people really appreciate it, and I think a lot of creativity online would spawn from it, from cosplays to just art and everything, and I think I'd love to see that. And I know I would do what I can to support that too. I don't know anything about coding in a game or any of that stuff, but I don't know. I think I could play test shit pretty well. Play a lot of games on hard difficulties and all that, and so I don't know. Maybe I can give input from that direction. I don't know. I don't work for these QA companies, so I don't know how that would work. But it's something I'd be interested and willing to
Please,
help out in for sure.
I have to find help.
So I appreciate you guys for watching and listening, and hopefully we can get in that direction someday. But from now on until then, please like and subscribe and comment and share this video so more people can watch it and enjoy it, and hopefully just have a different perspective on this game and horror gaming in general. So I appreciate that. When you like and comment and subscribe, it gets the video out there for more people so they can enjoy it too, and it just helps the channel out, and I really appreciate everybody's support. So thank you very much. And I'll catch you next time.